You know what? I like that Megan Thee Stallion and that female name? I forget her name. She's like heavy set and she's
Lizzo.
Lizzo. Yeah, I like that. I like that. It was good. Yeah, it
Yeah,
reminds me of that old Michael Jackson video where he featured like Eddie Murphy and he was like in Egypt and stuff like that. So I thought it was like real nostalgic, but I like futuristic at the same time.
yeah, for sure. That's an awesome one. And again, make sure to turn on your cameras because then people in the music industry can get to know your face and you can get to know everyone else.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
let's see, who else? How about Cody Morgan? Can you introduce yourself and what your favorite music video is and why? Or maybe they're not here. How about Selena?
Wait, you're talking about me?
Yes. Can you introduce yourself, what you do in the music industry, and what your favorite music video is and why?
Yeah, so I'm Selena. I'm based in Minneapolis. I'm an independent artist manager. Um, and my favorite music video, I think right now is I've been like binging Ariana Grande recently. So I think God is a Woman is so like the cinematography of it. Oh, or Olivia Rodrigo, Brutal. Brutal's super cool. I love that music video. Yeah.
Yes, I love that one too. Um, okay, how about Manuel? Can you introduce yourself, what you do in the music industry, and what your favorite music video is and why?
Okay, so the name I go by is Jay the Third. I am an independent artist. I make hit rap music. Also, my favorite music video would be ASAP Rocky Moby. Like it's the transitions, the color scheme that makes it appealing. It just keeps my attention.
For sure, for sure. That's a good one. Okay, how about Boz? Can you introduce yourself, where you're from, what you do in the music industry, and what your favorite music video is and why?
Hello, hello. I'm Baz. I'm a singer, songwriter, recording artist from Jersey. You can find me on all digital platforms as Baz Valencia, the way it's spelled on my name on the display. In terms of the video, I really like The Hills by The Weeknd. I think it has a really sick effect, and they're very effective. I think the huge production, but just the simplicity of what happens in the storytelling really it really creates an impact with also the just that effect that they have where it's like he's singing the song but it's like in slow motion but he's still on beat. I thought that was really sick.
Yeah, for sure. I love that one. How about Felicia? Sorry if I said your name wrong, but yes, what you do and what your favorite music video is and why.
Totally got it. Hi everybody. My name is Felicia, but I go by Charmed. I am a producer at VaynerMedia and a creative director. If I have to say my favorite music videos, there's two. The first one would definitely be Childish Gambino's 3005. There's just something about the simplicity of it and just the storytelling of it. And if I have to choose another one, I've been really loving Silk Sonic and their visuals. Like Bruno Mars has always done his thing, but like them coming together is killing it for me.
Yes, I completely agree. Okay, I'm probably gonna do two more people. So how about Jonathan? Can you tell me what you do and what your favorite music video is and why?
Hey everybody, I'm a rapper, songwriter, and my favorite video right now, there's so many of them, man. Childish Gambino always drops great stuff. I always get a lot from him with everything that he does with with incorporating his film. ASAP Rocky is also a great person when it comes to music videos. But right now, I really like it's really simple, but I really like the way Meek Mill did his videos. I really didn't really like the songs on his album, but when I watched the videos, it made it connect with the Expensive Pain that he did. So right now I really like the simplicity of those videos. So yeah.
think that's a really good point that you brought up. I haven't seen that one, but I'll definitely check it out. Okay. And then our last person is going to be Aubrey. Can you introduce yourself and what your favorite music video is?
My name's Aubrey. I'm a singer, songwriter, and I would say my favorite music video right now is like Normani's Wild Side. Yeah, let's go.
Yes, I'm so excited for her. I feel like she's going to do really big things. But okay, thank you everybody for introducing yourselves. I'm going to pass it off to Christy to start this event and introduce our panelists. But before we start, just a couple of reminders. Keep your mics off, but cameras on, because you want to get to know people in the music industry and you want them to get to know your face. And there's a contact sheet in the chat where you can fill out your social medias, LinkedIn, to connect with everyone on this panel. And last but not least, make sure that you have a pen and paper on hand, because our panelists are going to drop some amazing gems of knowledge. And by the way, I'm Donna. I'm a marketer at Finesse Media, and I'm going to pass it off to Christy.
Hi guys, my name is Christy and I'm an event coordinator and PR at Finesse Media. Thank you everyone for joining us today. We're going to be talking about all things music video related, from production to creative direction. We just want to discuss what makes a great music video. So with us today, we are joined by Bianca Nicdao, who was recently at Capitol Records and has worked with artists such as Katy Perry, Niall Horan, Vince Staples, and many, many more. And we're also joined by Carolyn Knapp, who is from UMG's 1824 and has worked with artists like Olivia Rodrigo, Fergie, and also many, many more. Why don't we get started? Bianca, tell us about how you got started in the music industry and what you currently do now.
Yeah. Hi everyone, so glad to be here and meet you all. I have a film school background, so I went to college for film in Boston, but when I was there, growing up also, I did music. I did like all different types of instruments and all that, so that is at my core. But when I was in college, I was, doing so many like short film narratives, and I was doing it because that's what everyone was doing, but all my friends were at Berklee College of Music, and what I wanted to do was make all their videos and help them with their cover art and do all of that. Like, that excited me so much. So halfway through college, I kind of switched it up a little bit. All my projects that had prompts, I started to ask my teachers if I can make it so that it's like a promotional asset for these artists or a music video instead. And that's how I started getting that rolling. I took a semester with Berklee College of Music so I can learn about the music industry, interned at Capitol Records for their video production team. Did really well there. They hired me right after. And then for the past 3 years, I've been, under their global creative team. So basically, I not only do music videos, any content for artists, but I also do campaigns and brand building, which is a big part of, I would say it's pretty much 50-50 at this point now. So I do like big marketing campaigns for them and everything that has to do with that. So cover art, assets, experiential campaigns, activations, all of that good stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. How about you, Carolyn?
I actually have a pretty similar background to Bianca in this. I also went to film school and, had the narrative kind of thing going for a while, but music has always been such a big part of my life. And so in 2019, I was working at an internship at a TV studio, and I just hated the studio office life. I wanted to be doing something different every day. And I got an introduction through one of my friends to the visual content division of 1824, which is Universal Music Group's internal creative solutions team. So there are lots of different things going on in there, but specifically, I went into an interview for the content team, and the management played a music video that I had done for one of my friend's bands in the interview, and I was hired on the spot, which was insane. But I've been working there ever since, actually, and now I do freelance work as well, so I kind of split my time as far as that goes. And at the moment, I'm actually taking a few months off. I'm working in Greece on I'm assisting on a feature documentary about queer artists in Athens, so that's why it's nighttime for me currently. But I'll be back in a couple weeks working back at UMG and doing my normal kind of freelance stuff. So I am really all over the place as far as what I do. I've wanted to direct ever since I was little, and I found out that it was a real job. But I also have a huge art background in a lot of different mediums. So working across different mediums is how my mind works best. I do animation and live action video work, and also still content like merch and album cover designs. So yeah, really anything that, you know, comes my way, I'm down to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. So obviously you guys have quite a bit of experience in the creation of like everything behind the music video. So how would you guys define what a music video is to you? Bianca, would you like to start?
Ooh, yes. That's a great question. I think it has kind of shifted and evolved throughout the past couple of years, especially as, you know, now, at least in the label side, we break it down from like music video, but also visualizer. But to me, a visualizer could also be a music video. So I would say a music video is basically just any visual attachment to a song. So it can literally be anything. It doesn't have to have a specific story. It doesn't have to look a certain way, just anything that is attached to that full record.
Right. How about you, Carolyn?
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's such a broad answer at this point, but I love that about it. And I think the important part is bringing to life the musician's world, because it's like a translation of the song into a visual medium. And so understanding, you know, what the song is to the artist is so important in finding out kind of what the correct visual should be, because it really can be anything.
Yeah. So now that we have like a good understanding of what music videos are to you guys, Carolyn, would you like to walk us through like a creative process behind creating a music video?
Yeah. So given that I do so many different things, it's a bit hard to generalize across the board, but when creating any type of art for a song, I start with the music. So I'll usually hole up in my bedroom, listen to the song over and over. I'll drive around my car and listen to it. I'll ride my bike and listen to it. Just, you know, try to get the visuals coming to me and lots of different brainstorming. And then I'll jot down all my ideas, no matter how crazy or out there they are. I want to, you know everything going in. And in this brainstorming stage, I also do a deep dive into the artist's previous work. So this is really important for getting into their world. And I listen to all their old music, watch all their past music videos to really get to know them as an artist. And then I'll ideally talk to the musician about what they're envisioning and see if they have any specific ideas that they want to include, because sometimes, you know, it can range. Some people know exactly what they want and some people have no idea. And then hopefully, since I've already done my own brainstorming, either some of my ideas and the musicians will overlap or they'll complement each other, or since I'm familiar with the song and their previous work, I'll be able to bounce new ideas off of them. And from there, it gets really different based on whether it's live action or animation. But yeah, that's definitely the beginning of the process.
Yeah. What about you, Bianca? Do you have like any relatable moments to what Carolyn just said?
Yes, totally. I'll kind of give a little perspective when it comes to working hand in hand with artists on music videos, because that's mostly pretty much all the music videos I've done. Like I've literally was talking to the artist from the very jump and including them throughout the whole process. So yeah, other than, just like listening to music, digesting the artist's brand, all of that. When I work with an artist on the concept, we usually start off with just like wants. So thinking big, because it's so much easier to scale down. And you don't want to stifle creativity. So we think really, really big, and I try to guide the conversation to whether is it really important that they want this to be narrative based or not. Because if it is narrative based, then we kind of plan out story points. So that's the big thing. Usually it's easier to do like how you want it to start, how you want it to end. But since most artists really know their music, they kind of also know like the chorus should feel like this and this should be like that. So then usually after that, there's this thing called a creative brief, which usually, depending whether you're working with an artist at a label or an independent artist, Obviously, there's just very different ways to take this, but basically a creative brief is a document that is sent out to directors to then gather a formal treatment to present to an artist. So whether I'm just producing the music video or if I'm directing the music video, I still would write up a treatment. And in that treatment, if some of you may not know, it's basically kind of like a storyboard or even just an overall document that lays out the idea of the music video, how it should feel, the mood and tone, references, all of that. And then the artist gets it, chooses which one they like best, and basically, execute it. But oh man, I don't know what else I could say. But yeah, that's pretty much like my creative process when it comes to working with them. It's so fun to kind of pick their ideas and see how else we can do it. Oh, and when it comes to like a process in the brainstorming and with budget in mind, that's really huge, because when I say like scaled back, let's say, for example, like the artist really envisions them like flying into space and blah, 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 blah. Like, okay, maybe green screen and a whole studio shoot may not be doable for 10K, 5K, whatever it may be. But there's this cool animator that can really like work across the picture. And maybe that animation route is the style and the aesthetic of the video. So that's some of my pointers.
Yeah, just really quick, sorry. I thought that was really interesting to hear you talk about working with the artist, because if there's anyone in the audience who wants to be a director, that's like the goal and the dream, is to be able to work through their ideas with them. And a lot of times, in my experience at least, like when you're a director with an external production company or something like that, you don't have that opportunity, and you just have to pitch a treatment based on, you know, what they give you in the brief. So there's definitely a wide variety of experiences as far as that goes.
Right. Yeah, I hope you guys are jotting down what they're saying. Like, this is really good insight. So yeah, you guys mentioned quite a bit of strategies that you guys used for your music videos. So Bianca, what are more like accessible strategies and or resources that like emerging indie artists can use if they don't have like a big budget or like a team behind them?
Totally. Well, a big thing about me starting at Capitol was I was always the youngest person. So they always gave me the budgets that are literally so small compared to the big, like, Sam Smith budgets. So I've had a lot of experiences working with super minute like budgets. So like 1K budgets don't even scare me, like 500, 5,000, because there's so much to do. One of the biggest tips I have is maximize what that can bring you, because in this time, I personally believe, yes, music videos are great and it'll definitely push your artist brand, but especially if you're an indie artist, you need as much stuff out there for people to digest of you. So for example, if you're doing a music video for $500, $1,000, shoot the music video concept, but then take a scene and shoot literally like a one-take visualizer or performance of you just lip syncing the song in that setting, and put that out as the visualizer for your song. And then you have the music video for their song. And then also have someone take pictures of you and make that, do like a cool, I don't know, it could be super minimal animation or whatever of you with those photos. And that can be the back of your lyric video. And then you have, you know, someone else jot down your lyrics on top. So now you have 3 videos for $1,000, all in the same settings, all with the same people. And I think that's the biggest thing, because it's so hard to like, I don't know, do big things with like little budgets, but you can like spread that out so that it's like 3 cool things under one thing, if that makes sense.
Carolyn, you would like to?
Yeah, that's really amazing advice. I really love that. I guess I'll speak a bit to being outside of a label as well, because if you're really just, you know, funding the music video yourself, it can be very intimidating, and you might not be sure how much money to even spend on something. when you don't have someone telling you that. And so I've done music videos with independent artists and like very small up and coming artists before, and you can really make like a little go a long way. I have done a music video with my friends that was pre when I worked at Universal, that we literally did in my parents' garage. And like I was the director and I had my best friend as the assistant director, and my friend who like did dance as the choreographer, and we just pulled it all together. And I guess that is my best advice, is that you're like foster good relationships with your talented friends. I know a lot of people who have brought up their friends with them even when they get more successful, and end up working together for the rest of their lives. And I think those can be some of those valuable connections in the industry. And also just do your research, like watch other low budget music videos that you like, find out who created them, reach out. There's a good chance that they'll probably want to work with you. One of my favorite music videos that I've done actually was with Eliza McGlam, who's like a smaller artist. And she just reached out to me on Instagram, and it ended up being such like an emotionally charged video that was just me and a 3-person crew driving around in a car in Los Angeles and like filming it. And it turned out so well, and we literally spent nothing on that. So, you can definitely get creative even with absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it like didn't even cost anything. So that's really cool. So I hope everyone is still taking notes. These are like absolute gems of information. So yeah, now that we know like some good resources or strategies, what would you say are some key components of a strong music video, Carolyn?
Yeah, I mean, to go back to what we were talking about before with what is music video, I think that respecting the artist's vision and their world and really working to bring out, original visuals that resonate with the musician and their listeners is the most important tip to making a strong music video. I don't think there's one thing in particular that makes a video good, but originality and authenticity can both really go a long way. I'm a big believer in experimenting and play, and Bianca mentioned that earlier with like start big, like see what could be possible, because you don't want to limit yourself. Have fun with yourself, take risks. Yes, something could go wrong, but in my experience, if you trust your gut, it really pays off. Something that took me more time to learn than it should have is not to make anything that I wouldn't want to watch myself, which is kind of silly to say, but very true. And along the same lines, I just think that like, I guess stagnancy can be a downfall of some music videos. Like, I don't know, short attention spans are a reality. So you want to keep in mind why a viewer should keep watching your music video all the way through. And that can be from so many different things, whether it's, narrative or mediums or locations. Just, you think about something to make yourself stand out when there are so many things to watch.
Oh, yeah, those are great points. I just want to add that a good music video, like a viewer has to take away something. So whether these somethings could be, okay, do they know a little bit more about the artist, like the artist brand? Like, okay, are we putting them in a world? 2, are they getting a better idea of what the lyrics mean? Some music videos are focused on showing exactly what the artist is saying, which is cool. 3, are they just getting a specific feeling from it? Like some music videos are all about just like making you feel like super, I don't know, like some are like super psychedelic-y. So like you're in this like trippy state-ish almost. Yeah, so basically it doesn't have to hit. A great music video hits literally all of them, but a good music video, just at least one of them gets taken away, which is all you kind of really need, because there's other ways to build everything else out for the artist there.
Yeah. Okay, so now that we've discussed all of this, we're kind of nearing the end of our questions. So if you guys want to like plug what projects you guys are up to, maybe Carolyn, since you're in Europe, if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, the movie that I'm working on here is not going to be out for a very long time, so it is in the very early stages. But I am currently on pre-production for my next short film, which is really exciting. It's called The Easy Life, and we're shooting this February. So that's about, as one of our lead actresses put it, it's about girl bossing too close to the sun. So that'll be a fun one. Keep your eye out for that on, my socials if you're interested. And then going to be directing a lot of new fun music videos this spring. So yeah, lots happening.
Hell yeah. I do creative direction for artist Ty Verdes. So he just teased like Wing It on TikTok recently. And so now we're gearing up for the release of Wing It. So working on the music video for that right now. It's going to be really awesome. It's going to be like half live action, half fully animation, which is going to be really cool. And cover art. And I got a couple things up too, but I can't say it yet. So just more fun, creative things.
Yeah. Speaking of like things that you guys are going to do in the future, do you guys have like a favorite project you guys have worked on?
Ooh, yes. For me, I would say everything that you see with Ty Verdes, like creatively and visually, like I've done that, and we've done it together right when Stuck in the Middle like blew up back in last year. And just seeing and working with an artist from literally ground zero and seeing that all the work has led up to this point where now he has like 2 gold records now, and we're now working with like $50,000 budgets when we were working with 300 is really cool to see. So the culmination of all that small work leading up to this is really cool. My favorite project.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think my favorite project I've done has to be creating Spotify canvases for Olivia Rodrigo's Sour album. I did those with my creative partner, Anya Salman, who also works at 1824. And we did some other things for Olivia, like some YouTube videos and website collages. And she's just such a visionary. I don't say that lightly, but I've mentioned entering a musician's world, and Olivia knows exactly what her world is, which is just really cool to be part of. She's so involved in every little detail of everything that has her name on it. Like with the Spotify canvases that we did, Anya and I produced and animated them, but Olivia had very specific direction for each one. So we got an email once with ideas that she jotted down backstage at the Brit Awards because she just had a moment of clarity and she wasn't going to let that escape. So she's just like very much, that's how she works. And I love working with other young women in the industry because the collaboration just feels so natural. Yeah, and the Sour album was just named top globally streamed album on Spotify, which is crazy. I'm so proud of her, but also personally, I could never have imagined that so many people would see my work at the beginning of this year. So that's been a wild ride for sure.
Yeah, that is so cool. Working with Olivia Rodrigo, like very closely is super awesome. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. I am going to pass it off to my co-host, Donna, to lead the audience Q&A.
Yes. Okay. Thank you guys so much for answering all those questions. That was so cool to learn about because honestly, I didn't know much about how to make a music video. I just mainly focus in marketing, but I love watching them. So that was super cool to hear you guys talk about that. So before we go into the audience Q&A, can everyone unmute themselves and give me a woot woot if you learned something new? Thank you, everybody. Okay, so now we're going to move into our audience Q&A, and how you can ask your questions is at like the bottom. There's a reactions thing, and then it says raise hand, and then I'll call on you guys, and you guys can ask your questions. Okay, so the first person I'll start with is Felicia.
Hi guys, super great to meet you. I've learned so much. I've done a couple music videos myself, and I love that I'm still learning. My question is actually, you guys talked about having like really minimal budgets. How do you deal with an artist who has unreasonable expectations and a really low budget, but they expect you to create a Michael Jackson, type of world with a couple $100.
For sure. I've definitely run into that. So here are just like a few ways that have worked for me. One is showing them literally other music videos that are exactly those price points. So then also they could see like, oh shoot, if I put in $500 more, look at this music video for $1,000 and it can look like that. So yeah, giving them like direct visuals that represent the budget lines is a good one. And then also two is like, oh, actually, that's pretty much a big one. And usually that fixes it for me. But yeah, I would literally just give them like direct things. And also maybe even taking it a different way. I just think that animation ups the budget, the look and the quality of the music video so much more, just because it's way more engaging, and you can just, a $500 animation can do so much more than like, actually, sorry, I take that back. I don't want to say 500 this, 500 that does better, but I just want to say that, yeah, usually I insert that too, especially over the past year, that animation is like really blowing up in music videos, that is a route that they can take to even make it look even cooler.
Yeah, honestly, that was great advice. I don't think I have too much to add to that.
Felicia, does that answer your question?
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Okay, so next, Queen Mars, you can ask your question.
Hi, how are y'all? My question is for specifically when you're reaching out to creative directors to help you bring to life kind of your vision for a music video. Do you have any tips on like how to approach that and like what information you want to be like provided to you so that you're able to like make kind of an informed decision on whether or not you want to work with a person? Yeah.
That's a good question. Trying to think on that one, honestly.
Are you talking about
when you're reaching? Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, reaching out to creative director, or just like the director of the music video in general?
I guess probably maybe like more specifically a director.
Yeah.
Just like what is it that when someone's reaching out to you with a project, like I know that you say that people send out creative briefs, but like typically like how does that look, if you can explain that?
For sure. Yeah. Well, it's kind of like a treatment. It can look like all different ways, but basically the main information that you want to give them is obviously the track, information about the artist just in general, what the song is about. If the artist already has ideas, like what are those ideas, the mood and tone, and let them know if is it really like fixed to that, or if you guys are open to hearing what their ideas are. But usually those points give people a good idea of what the project is and whether, and budget and timeline. Timeline is huge too. Like give them the exact finals and proposed shoot dates. And that's pretty much, all they need to work with.
Yeah, and then I think you also mentioned how to find out if there's someone that you want to work with, which I think is a really good point. And, depending on what they send back to you as far as a treatment or creative brief, that's going to help you out a lot. But definitely looking into their past work, I think, is one of the most important ways to find someone you want to work with, because, you're trying to find someone who's like a good match for you. And so by looking into what they've created before, you can decide if that's what you're interested in.
Queen Mars, does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for asking. And next, how about Chufeng? Nice to see you again.
Hi, everyone. My name is Chufeng. I use she, her, and hers pronouns. I'm a queer transgender singer-songwriter, also in Minneapolis, in Minnesota. And my question is, I am getting ready. I'm like in the planning stages of my first music video ever as an indie artist. And the song is half in English and half in Hmong, which is my native tongue. So I was just wondering, like, do you have any tips for music videos that have like songs that are bilingual, or do all of these tips sort of just still apply?
Yeah, I mean, in my experience, I've done like a couple animated bilingual music videos, and I would say that everything that we've talked about still applies. Something that you could think about is who your audience is. Like if you're trying to have people who speak your native language also watch this, then you could look into music videos that might be in your native language and kind of get inspiration from that as well. But I think that, you know, just a lot of what we talked about will apply. It's not going to be too different, in my opinion, as long as it's like true to you. I think that's the most important part, is that it's, you know, what you're trying to achieve through the stuff of the song.
Bianca, anything to add?
Yeah, it'd be cool too, because I know that like it's really hard, especially in a different language, to fully translate it to what it means in English, and like when you know, translate the lyrics, but maybe something as close to that when it comes to like an ancillary piece of content that can help support it, because I'm sure like what you're saying in that native language is like really beautiful. So I would just say like, do what you do in the music video, because that's really awesome. But then maybe like on TikTok or something, you just have the track and then you just have like what it actually means, that section or that verse. Yeah, so that we all can still like fully take it in. But that's awesome. Good luck.
Another thought, which you could obviously not do, but I know Bianca was mentioning the different things that you can include in a music video, or like that make a music video good. And she mentioned, you know, like a visual translation of the lyrics. And if you're interested, that could be an interesting way to, you know, have anyone speaking any language understand what's going on, is by presenting that visually. I don't know, there could be some interesting things to play with in there.
Thank you both so much. That was like, so incredible. You're both so amazing. Thank you.
Good luck. That sounds awesome. I'm really excited to see that music video. Okay, how about Elsie next? You can ask your question.
Hi, yeah, thank you. This has been like so amazing. I was really excited about this event. So my name is, well, my artist name is Elsie, but my real name is Lily. And my question is around, you mentioned actually working on short films. So I actually haven't really created or produced too much visual content because I put out an album that's very much like a whole world. It's a narrative. I have like a pretty strong vision of how that story will go, but it's like a gargantuan project in my mind, because I really wanted like it to be in this kind of short film kind of medium. And so my question is really, where do I start? How do I kind of find the right, because I ideally want to work with one person throughout. I think my vision is, you know, each song kind of has its own moment. Some of them can be like full-length music videos that I then release separately. But it is quite a big project as a first thing to tackle. And so really just like wanting to get general advice on how to gather a team, like again, kind of piggybacking off of Queen Marge's question of like, how do I really, because this is sort of a bit more ambitious, I guess, of a place to start, but I can't really think of any other way to start. So yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts.
That sounds like an amazing project. I can't wait to see what happens. I think one of the first things you're going to want to think about is budget, and just like making sure that going into it, you know what you're willing to spend on the whole thing, so that you can kind of gauge what will go into each one, because you don't want to get into a situation where like you spend a lot on the first one and then it's like, oh no, like how are we going to make this, you know, spread across? As far as crew, you were talking about getting together a team. If you are interested in working with the same people and over and over again, that's another good thing to bring up with them at the very beginning, and to try to find someone who schedule-wise will be available for that, especially in the more creative roles. But yeah, that's going to be really interesting. I know that it's ambitious, but if you're, you know, trusting your gut, I think it's going to be really cool. I don't know if you're interested in doing like videos that have some more short film sections, like with dialogue, and then have the music after, because there's some really great examples of that. I know Tyler the Creator does that a lot, which can be really fun as a storytelling mechanism. Or even a good example for you, if you want them all to be cohesive, might be something like Janelle Monáe has done that with Dirty Computer, where her whole album was one long short film, and all the music videos were different sections of that. So I guess just looking into other people who have done this before and getting inspiration from them should be helpful. But as far as the logistics, just like solidifying ahead of time what you're really going to need going in, so you don't get stuck halfway through, I think is going to be really important.
Yeah, I just want to add, like, a point person that would be really great for you with this project would be a separate producer. Like, I'm sure you're gonna, creative direct this whole thing because you have such a vision for it, which is great. But a producer can really help manage every single thing that needs to happen for this, and can also be your creative point person, who can also help you find like the perfect director to execute this, and can help you put together whether you need 3 days to shoot all of this, or if you just need 2 days, or if you need 4 days. They'll help you manage your budgets too and everything. And producers can literally be anyone. They don't even have to be like from a specific production company. I don't know what your budget's looking like, if it's high, if it's big, if it's
10K for the whole thing.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so a producer from like, whether they're with a production company or not, should be able to do it. But also I would say probably someone that works with a production company, so that for your 10K, you can maximize everything, because most production companies will have equipment that they probably have in-house, or at least a camera, and all the resources of editors and everything else. So yeah, depending where you're at too, there's a bunch more like boutique ones. They don't have to be like the big Partisan or whatever it is, Blank Square. No, it could be like really, really small ones that are actually really great. So yeah, I would say producer is probably the best first little step to find.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Elsie. And those are some awesome resources that you guys just dropped. So again, I know I've been saying this, but I hope you guys are taking some notes, because these are some awesome resources they're dropping. Okay, Antonio, you can ask your question.
Yeah, so I got 2 questions. First is, how much time should you plan for a music video, and how far in advance should you plan to shoot the video? And then from an artist perspective, like, what's the best way to find, I guess, somebody, director or someone who like creates music videos in your local area,
For sure. Well, one, music videos really do range, because I've worked on some where I had like a month lead time and somewhere I had like a week. So it really depends. But I would say, like, from my experience, the most like healthy timeline to give yourself is like a month runway. So that gives you time to prep, shoot it, and also post for an editor to really put it together. And then in terms of finding directors in your local area, my favorite thing is, if there is an artist that is doing stuff in your area, look at who the director is. And then also my favorite thing to do on Instagram is look at who they follow and who those people are. And that's kind of how I find dope directors in the LA area, New York, literally anywhere. They're all kind of like webbed together somehow, and they're usually like tagged in other stuff. That's my go-to thing.
Carolyn, anything to add?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. There is a lack, honestly, of a good platform like a LinkedIn or something to actually find people in your area, but Instagram really is an amazing tool for that. So yeah, Bianca's advice was really great.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Your question? Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Maybe one of y'all create that platform.
Yeah, seriously.
I know. We should create one. An app. Oh yeah.
Okay, I think this actually might be able to take 2 more questions, or this might be our last one. We'll see how long this one goes. But Erica, you can ask your question next.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so my question was, as an artist, who should we reach out to when we do have a music video for exposure, like the marketing side of it? Like when you guys make stuff, who like, you know, obviously there's YouTube and Instagram, but how does an artist video, if it's like decent or well, like how does it go viral? Like that's my question.
For sure. Yeah, that is a great question. I would say that just in general, when you want your video to like go out there, I know a lot of people like do ads and stuff, but I really think it's the other stuff outside of the actual video that can help people lead you to your video. So I would not put the attention so much on like pushing the music video, like obviously do whatever you can for that, but how are you working your other social platforms so that they're interested in your brand just in general, so that they watch the video. And just like, I don't know, in terms of, I don't know if you're ever looking at like a label in the future or whatever that is, or what your goals are there, but just from that perspective, like when we see stuff on the internet, like, yeah, we're usually coming across all your other stuff for us to even see that. So that's what I would put my focus on.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's hard. Like there's no way to really construct virality necessarily, but if you are interested and have the guts to do it, I have seen a lot of people do really well on TikTok, which is, you know, I don't know, right. It's an interesting place. It's a controversial place, but that is, I think, honestly, one of the most surefire ways that small artists actually have been able to get, you know, a lot of traction, is just because it's a place where people can actually be exposed to your music, even if they have no other introduction to you and have no other, you know, contact with your music. But
yeah, and I would say too, like take the best parts of your music video, those 30-second moments, those 60-second moments, and just put that on TikTok. You don't even have to shoot anything else yourself, but just take the snippet and put those out. Put like 5 of those out, cut every single section, the verse, the chorus, all that.
Because you never know what could happen.
Right. Yeah, because sometimes you see people that you didn't like, the Island Boys, like I didn't know who they were until I saw that video go viral. So that's all I was saying. Like sometimes they don't even know who you are until they see that one video.
Yeah.
You know. But okay, I got you. Thank you guys.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll have one last question, and sorry to everyone else that we didn't get to, but you can drop your questions in the chat, and also make sure to check out the contact sheet so you can message our panelists with your questions as well. Okay, so our last person is Raquel. I probably said your name wrong. I'm so sorry.
Roj, hi. Can you guys see me?
Yes.
Hey, I'm Roj. My pronouns are they, them. Roj, my stage name, my moniker or alias rather, is La Roj. But in response to one of I think Priscilla's questions, maybe like like one of the first questions we got, like in terms of like making it more low budget, like one thing that I've been able to kind of do within my own context of my own music video in terms of just kind of like lowering the budget is maybe even having one shot, maybe compromising CGI for location, in the sense of, you know, because a lot of the time it boils down to how many hours you spend on set, and how much it costs to be on set for like maybe half a day, if not more. So I feel like in many ways, if you can stay at one location, you know, that has a lot of versatility in terms of like the different moods and kind of maybe even backdrops or props that they might have available, like that's definitely one thing that's worked for me. But aside from that, I did have a question, and my question in terms of just kind of wanted to get a general layout of what's like everyone's individualized kind of process for organizing their music videos. Like for me, like as a producer and a songwriter, producer in the sense of you know, producing my own music, but also producing my own music videos. I've experienced with editing as well, so I've been able to have that kind of creative authority in that sense. So for me, the best way to organize it has been by creating like a basic script with visuals, you know, along with like whatever like dialogue or lyrics that like I might have like on the side as well. So for me, I just kind of like wanted to get like a general idea of what everyone else's approaches were in terms of like when conceptualizing a music video, if like say the artist isn't very involved with it, and what your experience was about.
Yeah, for myself, since I'm very like long-term brand focused on like breaking the artist, I try to think about like what are the elements of the artist that we really need to get out right now to build to that point.
Yes.
So that's where my head is at when it comes to brainstorming. Like for example, some artists, I don't know, I'm just gonna name like a random one, like a female pop artist, like there's many different ways to approach it and they probably have a bunch of ideas or sometimes they don't. But I wanna say like, okay, what makes them really special is their like vision for this world that they're building where they can
or even like aesthetic, like
exactly
whatever.
this aesthetic. So I want to make sure that in the music video, like they're the forefront of it. Like we're not putting them in any like silhouette type frames. Like it should be them interacting with the space. So that's how I approach it for that. But yeah, it would just be like really keeping like the artist overall goal in mind, and that can educate like what the visuals actually look like.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, I would definitely second that. It's a bit hard to answer just because every artist is so different and they're appealing to a different audience and they're, you know, part of a different genre and all sorts of things. But just starting with the artist and like figuring out what they want to get out of this music video and why this music video is important to them is, I think, the greatest starting point.
Thanks for answering your question, or thanks for asking your question, Roche. We are going to move on to the watch party section of this event. Sorry again to everyone that we didn't get to, but drop your questions in the chat. And again, fill out the contact sheet so that you can stay connected with everybody. And you can even follow up with the panelists with your questions. Okay, so for the watch party, we're going to watch some artists' music videos, and the purpose is that they can receive some feedback from the panelists and also for you guys to find some new artists. And don't be afraid to drop your thoughts in the chat. We love to see people hyping people up and giving their thoughts too. So we love to see that. Okay, so our first music video is going to be by Scout. So is anyone from their team or them here?
Hi. I'm sorry.
Do you want to give us like any background about the music video real quick?
Yes. So Scout is by TYSM. He's who I manage right now. And Scout is inspired by Moonrise Kingdom. There's like a couple of like still shots of him, of like the characters and stuff like that. They're like in Boy Scout and like Boy Scout uniforms and stuff like that. And yeah, it's just a really, I don't really know what more to say about it. I feel like the video kind of speaks for itself. It's just a little add-on to the song. It was super fun to shoot. We shot it in July, I think. It took about a month to prep everything. This is my first time doing like producing work, and I, at the time, did not know what producing was. So it was really cool to kind of get an insight and just work even more closely than just like business and management aspects with the client. Yeah, it was super fun, and it was a super hot and long shoot. So seeing everything like kind of come together was really emotional at some parts of it. It was super funny, but just seeing like, because I ran like wardrobe and stuff. We worked with like $1,000 budget for everything, not including like post-production and stuff. So that was just a lot to handle at once. But I think this was kind of like my setting stone. Like I can do stuff like this, and like I can persevere like even to like bigger projects. And we have like a couple really cool ones coming up soon too.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm gonna start off with this video.
Guy, Arturo, Ian, Drew, Elijah, drop down and give me push-ups.
Out on the blood, know it's time to get hot. I never stopped, seen them fly, got my hand in the pot. I had to dry how I feel, got some talking in plus. I had to run, so I pick up the game and I draw. I saw the sky on the blood, know it's time to get hot. I never stopped, seen them fly, got my hand in the pot. I had to dry how I feel, got some talking in plus. I had to run, so I pick up the game and I draw. I saw the flex, pull up the rest and flex. I'm obsessed with all the cash and checks. I digress, please just let me think about it. I got a piece up in my mind, I never link without it. Take a second, gotta pull it together. Bitches switching every season, trying to change up the weather. I think that maybe it's better if we just chill. Always keeping meals, so my bank is at $1 million. That's real. Scout on the blood, knew it's time to get hot. I never stopped, seen them fly, got my hand in the pot. I had to tell how I feel, got some talking in plus. I had to run, so I pick up the game and I
That one was really cool.
That was
Do you
sick.
have any feedback to give us? Carolyn, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, I mean, that was amazing. I thought that the energy of the cinematography especially really matched the energy of the song, because like I loved the Moonrise Kingdom kind of vibe. I thought that was really clever to bring that in. But I think that if you hadn't had that like active cinematography, it could have been kind of an interesting pairing with the energy of the song. But you know, because of how you did that, it all worked really well. It all came together really well. I loved it.
Thank you.
Hell yeah, no, literally that was so fun. And I love how it was, you literally created the world and you like stuck to the world. There weren't any other elements that felt off. And I would say that I feel like you've built such a world where I don't know how far this music video is out or if you guys are still pushing the songs, but it'd be cool to even do like assets where you take like frames of some of them and like break down the characters and just like give the characters a little like light or something, or I don't know.
Yeah, someone mentioned in the chat that it gave them a Tyler the Creator vibe, which I agree with. And I think that going off of Bianca's point, like he's really good at that, of like creating the whole world around the music video. And I know we've talked about that a lot as far as like capitalizing on the theme and creating a whole like promotional campaign almost around it. And I think that with a music video like this, that would be really possible.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. It's so cool seeing like insight, because like when I first kind of got into the industry, I've only been in this about like 8 months. And this was like my first project. I was surrounded, I was like the only girl like in the entire team. So it's so cool seeing like other people's insights, especially from my girl bosses.
Yeah, you're killing it. Oh my gosh. That as your first music video, that's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Okay, so for our next music video, we're gonna play Bitch by Queen Mars. And I think I saw you here earlier. Are you still here, Queen Mars?
Yeah, I'm still here. So we shot this last year. Basically, this is actually, funny enough, the second video that we shot for this song, because the first one I wasn't a huge fan of. But basically, we found a really cool, it was someone's house actually that they had up really for this video. We just wanted to kind of center one like visually compelling shot / like artsy shots, so it's less of a narrative and more of just like a vibe. But yeah.
I got liquor and love in my veins. I got poison on my cherry lips. I got too many numbers, no names. I'm that girl next door all of the boys wanna chase. I'm a jewel in the city of things. I could change your whole life if you want, come with me. I got too many secrets to keep. One might slip off my lips if you give me that drink. You keep on playing, you keep on playing. I'm the one others trying to shame. You know power is power, got love for the game. With my ego like a scarlet A, and I'll be damned if I let some old man take my place. I'm a phoenix in ashes and grave. In this monochrome world, I'm kaleidoscoping. I'm the heart that they wish they could break. If you don't know, now you know. Ain't no fucking with me.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing it, by the way. Bianca, do you want to start off?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love those music videos where it's just like almost portraitures in all these different settings. And that was so cool how you built the scene to have those like really interesting, like it's very artistic. I would say like if you're gonna keep doing that, like those portraiture vibes, one thing that you can do to really like bring it home is tell the editor or director, whoever, like literally just do slight push-ins in all of those. That could literally just be in post too. Like you don't have to shoot it that way, but if you just like push into all those shots, push out, like, and just have the music video go like this and all those different portraitures, perfect. But that was great.
Carolyn, anything to add?
Yeah, I love that. I loved how there were other people in it, but we only saw your face. I think that was really cool to be able to kind of develop your persona without getting distracted by other people. I'm wondering what your budget was, because this was really impressive. And I think it's a really good way, like we were talking about possibilities for low budget music videos. And I think, you know, this was, depending on what it was, like a very great example of that.
So the funny thing is, so like I said, it was the second video that we had shot, and we basically spent the majority of the budget on the first video that we did, and it just did not turn out good. It was just like a lot of shooting issues, and like we couldn't fix it in post, and so we were like, we have like no money left, but we need a video. And we shot that video in literally like 2 hours. Like that video in itself was very low budget. We basically just paid for the like camera guy's time and the paying for the set, and then like one of my friends did me a solid with editing. So like in total, that video probably was like somewhere between like the $500 to $750 range or something like that. Like, yeah.
That's so impressive. I think that, you know, you took that a long way, and that definitely, it went very well.
Thank you.
That was awesome. Great to see what you can do, even with like a low budget. So our next person is Amaya Santos. Are you here?
Yes, hi, I'm here.
Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna share her music video, HMD.
Let's go.
Your average, so boy, don't try to play like I can't live without you by my side. See me
Great. Okay, so for the feedback for this one, Carolyn, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, I love that. I really liked how in a song that's, you're singing about someone else, you took those two narratives and put them into two different storylines. And I'd be curious to see how they come back together at the end. But I thought that you set that up really well with like the narrative before the song started. That was super clever.
Yeah, and I love how it had like a storytelling element to it. Like I love both like kind of ways people take music videos, whether it's more just like the picture and the portraitures, but I really appreciate like when it's a mix and it's like storytelling and that is really awesome. And this literally reminded me of well, not directly, but as I was watching it, I was thinking of ways to like push music videos that artists can do. And I know someone else had that question earlier. There are literally Instagrams that focus on pushing music videos, like whether it's independent artists and signed label artists. It's kind of a tool that a lot of my artist manager friends use when pushing their artist stuff. I don't know if it's Our Generation Music, it's something along those lines, but basically you can literally pay them and they'll put your music video up in a little like portraiture of you. And they have like definitely over like over 100,000 followers too. That kind of just like pushes it out to a lot of like music industry people follow it as well. I'll figure it out, but that's definitely like an Instagram account that focuses on that.
Also, just I mentioned that I wanted to know what happened at the end, and that made me think back to earlier. I was talking about like what makes your audience want to keep watching, and so I think that was a really great example of that, of like that, what's going to happen. Like there's a buildup, and that was really impressive.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, at the end, he shows up at the party. So, but yeah.
Thanks for sharing, Amaya. Our next one is by Lulu Lays. Are you still on, Lulu?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, I just have a cold, so I have my camera off. But yeah, I put this out a couple months ago. I haven't really pushed it, but this is super low budget, as in I shot it, edited it, did everything on it just by myself. It's not going to be as cool as the rest of everyone else's high quality videos, but I would love your feedback.
Thanks, Lulu.
Waiting for a call that may never come. I wait by the phone, though you say we're done. And my body aches and my heart still breaks. Please give me a sign. Can't handle this pain, you're the one. Our legs awake from the weight of the pain in my life. 1, 2, 3, want you with me. Our legs awake. Are you a mistake or the one?
Doesn't give a shit, man. He's just playing around with you.
Awesome. Okay, so Bianca, do you want to start off? Because I see that you're unmuted.
Yeah, oh my gosh. You doing that all by yourself is amazing. It's so hard to do anything by yourself. So hell yeah. I really like the simplicity of it, honestly. Like, we don't need much settings in a music video to really take in what you're trying to get across. So I love that about it. I would say if you're still like working on it, I would add in even more push-ins, because those were the shots personally that I was like the most like engaged in. And if that was like even present throughout the video even more, I think could like up it even, yeah, just like 10%.
Yeah, I was super impressed by that. That's incredible that you were able to do that by yourself. I agree with Bianca on the push-ins. I really noticed that shot. It stood out to me a lot. And I know it's, you know, might be just because you were shooting it yourself, but I liked the jump cuts as well, and how it was like kind of kept returning to one shot. Like that turned out really well. And just the colors really, really popped. That was incredible. But yeah, keep doing what you're doing. This is like, your voice is amazing too. I can't wait to see what else you make.
I was gonna add, if you're still working on it, like that end part with the guy and his little line, like the audio definitely sticks out more with like the noise. So I would even like, you could even drop that shot, have him record a voice memo of like that exact same thing, put it on there, and like literally have the text say what he's gonna say. And I think that'll be like a really poetic way to end it.
Thank you both so much.
Oh yeah, great job.
Thank you.
Okay, so for our last video, we have Break the Mold by Uno Cool Bro. Are you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna share your video.
That's that bullshit.
Last place I seen them both together was then.
Bro, don't even worry about it, man. I should have just did this shit by my fucking self.
You gotta break the mold. Dreams of make 100,000 when we was young. Do anything just to get up out in slums. Grew up fast, never knew what was fun. Looking in the mirror, asking myself, what have I become? But now the vision seeming clearer. From bandos to minor architectural pillars. Dressing casual, never knew we was ex-dealers. Trigger finger don't itch no more, but it won't hiccup. Bullets ripping, another victim, they go on mission. I don't
Give a fuck. That's your problem. Why you can't let shit go? That's why he ain't trust you, because of shit like this. Shit like what? I ain't hear all this kumbaya shit before when we was taking niggas out. That was different. How? How? Nigga, did you hear yourself right now? Loud and fucking clear. You so worried about this fucking deal, you forgetting the plan.
It was that bumpy fucking Johnson.
The fucking takeover. Man, where you at? Who, nigga? Last time I checked, you ain't had wings. What the hell is Duke Bird?
Mama said, hold your head high even when you feeling low. But I put my feelings in that purple drink, now a nigga getting pulled. I'm tired of being poor, money's all I ever known. Got my pills tucked, never let it show. Gotta hit the road, can't let it go. Watch me grow, gotta break the mold. Not everything up like I'm Elon Musk.
Thank you. And let's start off with Bianca.
Hell yeah. Oh my gosh. All of your guys' music videos are so great. What the heck? And they're all great. Yeah, they're all great in their own ways. I love the cutaways for sure to those different narrative points. That is so awesome. And I love too how like the color palette is super fitting to
Yeah, so so we took a play out of like Childish Gambino and like Janelle Monáe, and this is like a scene in a bigger movie. So we actually shot a movie, but I shot the scenes based on the music videos. So we shot an entire movie based on that, and we're releasing the movie next year. So, but it was definitely like a skeleton budget. Like we didn't have Turo, Airbnb, and most of the shots were like outside my house, up the street at the corner store. So it's like we maybe had like $1,000 budget.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I'm blessed enough to work with my team though. We have great camera equipment. With all the things that happened in America this year, last year, with business loans and stuff like that. We really, took advantage of that, and we just invested it into our own camera equipment. So all of that stuff is ours. So you can do it. So yeah.
Hell yeah. No, resourcefulness is everything, and that was amazing.
Yeah, I love this. I can't wait to see the movie. Wow. I loved the cut back and forth. I think that's a risk that sometimes people are hesitant to take, is to like interrupt your song, but I think that it really pays off and it keeps the viewer's attention. And yeah, it was just so beautifully shot. I think that's great advice about, acquiring your own equipment if possible. It depends on kind of who you're working with and what your situation is, but it definitely can pay off. And one thing I noticed that works really well for it, but can save a lot of money, is that most of the shots were just static, and it was beautiful, and that can save a lot of time as well, because you don't have to reshoot things all the time. So I thought that was a really good move for staying on budget.
Yes,
it looks great to
Yeah, I have a similar background like you guys, so I'm a screenwriter, so it came natural as far as like being a musician as well, but it came natural just writing the script for it. So yeah, we all
awesome.
So yeah, definitely.
Wow.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Jonathan. I loved watching that as well. And that concludes our watch party. Thank you everyone for submitting your music videos. Those were so cool to watch. And thank you to the panelists for your feedback. That was so helpful.
Also, question, can we possibly can you guys put the links to the music videos in the info sheet? Because I want to go back and watch them again.
Yeah, we actually are making a playlist, or I think we've made one already on our YouTube channel. So
okay,
I think we might have the link, but I will add it onto the contact sheet. But yes, thanks everybody. Thank you to the panelists again. And I'm gonna pass it off to Christy for a wrap up.
Yeah, thank you so much for our wonderful panelists for joining us today, and for everyone who submitted a video. Those were so good. Also, yeah, we actually can give them a woo woo. Everyone, like, unmute your mics and say woo woo. Yeah, so thank you everyone who joined our event today. We appreciate everyone in our community. I hope you guys learned something new and or are making good connections here. Just a reminder, we have that contact sheet, so keep in touch with good people. Yeah, if you guys like what we're doing, then sign up for our Finessed VIP platform to keep up to date with us. Speaking of keeping up to date, we will be having our Music and Tech Summit soon. So yeah, follow our Instagram, finesse.media, for more information about that. And yeah, Kit Kat, would you like to add anything?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Kit Kat. I am the General Manager of Finesse Media. First and foremost, thank you to Bianca and Carol for hopping in. We appreciate you for being here. Again, so many gems dropped, so thank you. With that, also, thank you to Donna and Christy. This was actually Christy's first event, so can we unmute ourselves one last time to woo our hosts of this event, please? Awesome. Thank you, everyone. And last but not least, thank you all for being here. We appreciate you. Our CEO and founder, Alexi, couldn't be here, but she says thank you to all of you just as much. We appreciate you all. And like Christy said, we are actually preparing a Music and Tech Summit for December 17th through the 19th. So if you want more info, be on the lookout on our Instagram. And yeah, no event next week because we'll be prepping for that summit. But we hope to see you all very, very soon. So thank you. Have a nice Saturday, everyone. Bye.